In a world full of uncertainty, stress, and distractions, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the things we can't control, like other people's opinions, world events, or unexpected setbacks. But what if the secret to peace and progress lies in shifting your focus? Focus on what you can control is more than just a motivational phrase. It's a powerful mindset that can help you regain clarity, reduce anxiety, and take purposeful action in your daily life. In this video, we'll explore why letting go of the uncontrollable and mastering your response is the key to personal growth, resilience, and long-term success. If you're ready to stop wasting energy and start moving forward, this message is for you. In today's fast-paced, chaotic world, it's common to feel powerless. News headlines shout negativity, social media showcases perfection we can't replicate, and unexpected life events often catch us off guard. In the midst of this turbulence, there's one life-changing concept that can shift how we live and respond to stress: understanding the circle of control. This idea, popularized by authors like Stephen Covey in The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, centers on a simple but powerful distinction. Some things are within our control, while others are not. Knowing the difference between the two can completely transform your mindset, emotions, and ultimately your results in life. What is the circle of control? Think of your life as divided into 3 zones. The circle of control, this includes your thoughts, your actions, your words, your behavior, your effort, and how you react to situations. It's everything you can directly influence. The circle of influence, these are things you don't control, but you can influence to some extent. For example, how a team functions at work, a family member's habits, or your social environment. You may guide or inspire, but not fully determine outcomes here. The circle of concern, these are things you care about, but have zero control over. World events, other people's opinions, the economy, traffic, the weather, etc. Most people unknowingly spend a large amount of energy and time in the circle of concern, worrying, complaining, or obsessing about things they can't do anything about. This not only wastes energy, it creates stress, anxiety, and feelings of helplessness. Why focusing on your circle of control matters when you shift your energy and focus to what's within your control. Several powerful things begin to happen. You become more effective. Instead of trying to change things you can't, you take productive steps in the areas you can. You feel more empowered. Even when life gets difficult, you realize you have the power to choose your response. You reduce stress and anxiety. Letting go of what you can't control is freeing. It allows your mind to settle and focus. You influence others more positively. Ironically, when you stop trying to control others, you become a better example, and that often inspires change in those around you. Examples in everyday life. Let's say you're facing conflict at work. You can't control how your coworker behaves or what your boss decides. That's outside your circle. But you can control how professionally you respond, how clearly you communicate, and whether you choose to handle the situation with empathy or frustration. Or consider a global issue like inflation or political unrest. While it may affect you, worrying endlessly about it won't solve anything. Instead, focus on budgeting your finances, building new skills, or supporting your community actions that are within your reach. In relationships, you can't control if someone loves you back, but you can control how much love, respect, and honesty you give. That's where your power lies. How to shift focus to what you can control. Pause and reflect. When you're stressed, ask, is this something I can control? If not, let it go. If yes, ask, what's the next best step I can take? Make a list. Try writing down your worries. Then divide them into 2 columns. Things I can control vs. things I can't. Focus your energy on the first column. Practice mindfulness. Being present helps you detach from overthinking and stay grounded in the now, where your real power lies. Adopt a growth mindset. Even if circumstances are outside your control, your ability to learn, grow, and adapt is always yours. Challenges become opportunities when you see yourself as capable of evolving. Set daily intentions. Each morning, decide how you want to show up. Calm, patient, productive, focused. These are all within your power, even if the day brings surprises. The hidden power of acceptance. Many people think accepting things you can't control means giving up. In truth, it's the opposite. It's acknowledging reality and freeing yourself from a losing battle. It takes strength to surrender what you can't change and courage to change what you can. Acceptance allows you to move forward. It helps you conserve energy for meaningful action. It doesn't mean you don't care. It means you're wise enough to focus on what actually makes a difference. Real, life transformation people who embrace this principle often report feeling lighter, more focused, and more in control of their emotions. Athletes use it to stay in the zone. Leaders use it to navigate uncertainty. Parents use it to guide their children without trying to dominate them. Anyone can apply it, and the benefits are profound. When you stop trying to control everything and instead master your response, you become the most powerful version of yourself. You're no longer a victim of circumstances. You become an agent of purpose, clarity, and calm. Final thought: focus on what you can control isn't just advice, it's a way of living. It's about reclaiming your power in a world that constantly tries to distract, discourage, or overwhelm you. When you live inside your circle of control, you find peace, purpose, and the ability to change your life, one decision at a time. At the heart of personal growth lies a simple truth: you are responsible for your life. That may sound obvious, but it's also deeply powerful. Personal responsibility means accepting that your actions, choices, habits, and mindset shape your reality. It's about owning your story, not blaming others or circumstances for your setbacks. Taking responsibility doesn't mean everything is your fault. It means that no matter what happens, you choose how to respond. You recognize that while you may not control every situation, you always control your role in it. This principle is the foundation of success, self-discipline, confidence, and lasting change. It turns you from a passive observer into an active creator of your future. What personal responsibility really means: personal responsibility means you take ownership of your actions. You hold yourself accountable for your behavior and decisions. You don't blame others for your failures. You acknowledge your role in both your struggles and successes. You seek solutions instead of excuses. This mindset empowers you to move forward because you're no longer waiting for life to fix itself or for someone else to rescue you. You become the driver, not the passenger, of your journey. The link between responsibility and control: there is a direct connection between focusing on what you can control and taking responsibility for your life. When you commit to personal responsibility, you're naturally focusing your energy on what you can do to grow, improve, or solve a problem. You stop wasting time on blame, bitterness, or denial. Let's say you didn't get a job you really wanted. The easy thing is to say the employer was unfair or the economy is bad. But a responsible person asks, what could I have done better? What can I improve for next time? That question leads to growth. It shifts the power back into your hands. Why many people avoid responsibility: responsibility is powerful, but it's also hard. That's why many people resist it. They fear being blamed, or they don't want to feel guilty for mistakes. But true responsibility isn't about guilt. It's about growth. Avoiding responsibility might feel easier in the moment, but over time it leads to frustration, stagnation, and a sense of helplessness. You start believing life is happening to you instead of through you. People who avoid responsibility often blame others for their problems, make excuses for lack of progress, complain about circumstances they won't change, feel stuck, bitter, or hopeless. On the other hand, Responsible people face hard truths, learn from failure, and make better decisions moving forward. That's the difference between staying stuck and rising up. Examples in daily life. Here are some everyday ways personal responsibility shows up. Health. Instead of blaming genetics or time, you take charge of your fitness and nutrition habits. Finances. Rather than blaming the system, you budget, learn, and work to improve your financial literacy. Relationships. You acknowledge your part in communication issues and strive to become a better listener or partner. Career. You don't wait for a promotion. You work on your skills, show initiative, and create opportunities. Every area of your life improves when you decide to own it. How to strengthen personal responsibility. If you want to develop a stronger sense of responsibility, try these steps. Stop blaming, start reflecting. When something goes wrong, ask, what was my part in this? Or what can I learn? Instead of pointing fingers. Follow through on commitments. When you say you'll do something, do it. Your integrity builds your confidence and reputation. Track your progress. Keep a journal or checklist of goals. Monitor your behavior, not just results. Own your emotions. You can't always control how you feel, but you can control how you express emotions and treat others in the process. Apologize and improve. Taking responsibility means being willing to admit when you're wrong. A sincere apology followed by a change in behavior shows maturity. Create systems, not excuses. Instead of saying, I don't have time, create a daily routine. Instead of saying, I'm bad with money, take a course or read a book. You have the power to change. The confidence that comes with ownership. One of the most underrated benefits of personal responsibility is the confidence it builds. When you take ownership of your life, you stop fearing failure. Why? Because you know that even if things don't go your way, you'll learn, adapt, and keep going. That sense of inner strength is rare, and it's magnetic. People trust those who own their actions. Leaders, mentors, and high achievers all carry this trait. It's not about perfection. It's about accountability and progress. Personal responsibility equals freedom. Ironically, taking more responsibility gives you more freedom. You stop depending on others to make you happy, successful, or secure. You realize you already have what you need, the ability to choose your attitude, your effort, and your next step. This doesn't mean you don't need help or support. It means you take the initiative to seek that help, build relationships, and grow from feedback. Final thought. Personal responsibility is one of the greatest forms of self-respect. It says, I believe I matter. I believe my actions have meaning. I'm not a victim of life. I'm a creator in it. If you want to succeed in any area, health, work, relationships, purpose, it starts with this one commitment. I will take responsibility for me. No one else can do that for you. But once you do it, everything starts to change. We've all felt it. That tightness in the chest, the racing thoughts, the sense of helplessness when life feels out of control. Worry is a natural human response, especially in uncertain times. But if left unchecked, constant worry and anxiety can rob us of peace, productivity, and even our physical health. The antidote, learning to let go of what you can't control. It's not about pretending problems don't exist. It's about reclaiming your energy by no longer giving power to things you can't influence. When you stop obsessing over what's out of reach, you make space for clarity, calm, and wise decision making. What is worry really? Worry is the mind's attempt to gain control over the uncontrollable. It often comes from fear. Fear of the future, failure, judgment, or loss. The brain starts spinning stories. What if I lose my job? What if they don't like me? What if I mess this up? The problem is that worry gives us the illusion of control while actually paralyzing us. Instead of preparing us for action, it keeps us stuck in loops of overthinking, doubt, and self-criticism. The link between control and anxiety. Here's the truth. The more you try to control things outside your power, the more anxious you become. Why? Because no matter how hard you try, you can't control what others say or do, the weather, the economy, the future, or the past. When your energy is constantly spent fighting what you can't change, you exhaust yourself emotionally and mentally. On the flip side, focusing on what is in your control, your response, attitude, and next step, and bring immediate relief. You shift from being a worrier to being a doer. Signs you're holding on too tightly, you might not realize it, but anxiety can creep into your thoughts and behavior in subtle ways. Here are some signs: constantly replaying conversations in your mind, trying to predict or plan for every possible outcome, feeling guilty or panicked when things don't go perfectly, struggling to relax even when there's no immediate threat, being overly concerned about others' opinions. If any of these feel familiar, it might be time to examine where your energy is going, and if it's being wasted on things beyond your influence. Letting go is a practice, not a one-time event. Letting go isn't something you do once and forget. It's a daily practice. Like training a muscle, it takes intention and repetition. Here's how you can begin. 1. Recognize the thought loop. Start by observing your thoughts. Ask yourself, what am I worrying about? Can I control this? Is this helpful or just a habit? Awareness is the first step to breaking the cycle. 2. Accept. Don't resist. Acceptance doesn't mean approval. It means acknowledging reality as it is. Instead of thinking this shouldn't be happening, try this is happening. How will I respond? This mental shift releases emotional tension and helps you see the situation more clearly. 3. Focus on the present moment. Anxiety often lives in the future, worrying about what might happen. But your power is in the present. Ground yourself by breathing deeply, noticing your surroundings, or repeating affirmations like, right now I am safe. I choose peace over panic. I will deal with what comes when it comes. 4. Replace worry with action. If something is in your control, take small steps toward improvement. If not, shift your attention to something you can affect: your work, health, environment, or relationships. Action dissolves fear. 5. Use the worst case strategy. Sometimes asking, what's the worst that could happen, brings surprising calm. Most of the time, the worst case scenario is manageable or highly unlikely. This technique shrinks problems down to size and reveals you're stronger than your fear. 6. Practice gratitude. Worry focuses on what might go wrong. Gratitude centers you on what is already right. Make it a habit to list things you're thankful for daily, even small ones. It rewires your brain to see abundance instead of scarcity. 7. Limit negative input. Constant exposure to bad news, toxic people, or social media comparison can fuel worry. Be mindful of what you consume. Protect your peace by setting boundaries with the people and media you allow into your life. You don't have to do it alone sometimes. Worry can become overwhelming and persistent, especially in the form of chronic anxiety. If that happens, it's okay to seek help. Therapists, counselors, and support groups can provide tools and guidance to help you regain control over your inner world. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness. It's an act of wisdom and courage. The reward: peace and clarity. When you let go of what you can't control, something beautiful happens. You feel lighter, your mind quiets, your decisions become clearer, your confidence grows, not because you control everything, but because you've learned to trust yourself to handle anything. You stop needing life to be perfect and start living with purpose, presence, and peace. Final thought: letting go of worry isn't about ignoring problems. It's about focusing your energy where it actually matters. You can't control everything, but you can control you, and that's more than enough. So the next time anxiety knocks on your door, take a breath. Remind yourself, this is outside of my control. I choose to let it go. Then turn your attention back to your circle of control and watch your peace return. In a world filled with endless notifications, multitasking, and distractions, staying focused can feel almost impossible. We often begin the day with good intentions, only to find ourselves pulled in dozens of directions. Scrolling through social media, reacting to messages, worrying about future outcomes, or simply procrastinating. The result, diminished productivity, scattered energy, and a growing sense of frustration. But here's the truth: when you choose to focus on what you can control, you unlock a powerful path to clearer thinking, stronger focus, and meaningful productivity. Rather than trying to manage everything all at once, narrowing your attention to what matters most allows you to make steady progress, day by day. The power of focus is not just about working harder, it's about working smarter. It's the ability to direct your attention toward a single task or goal without getting derailed by distractions or worries. When you focus, you create mental momentum. Your thoughts become sharper, your decisions more intentional, and your time more valuable. But focus doesn't happen by accident. It must be protected, trained, and guided. And that process begins with understanding what deserves your attention in the first place. Why focus improves productivity. Productivity is not about doing more things. It's about doing the right things with purpose and clarity. That's where focus plays a crucial role. When you're focused, you finish tasks faster and with better quality. You reduce mental fatigue from switching between activities. You eliminate the noise of unnecessary thoughts and distractions. You gain a sense of control over your schedule and results. Many people believe they lack motivation, when in reality they lack clarity and focus. Once those are in place, motivation tends to follow naturally. How focusing on what you can control increases productivity when life feels overwhelming. The mind often jumps to everything that's not in your control: external expectations, unpredictable changes, or the pressure to keep up with others. This mental clutter slows you down, clouds your judgment, and leads to paralysis. Instead, when you focus only on what's within your circle of control, your actions, habits, attitude, and effort, you take back your power. You stop wasting time on complaints or comparisons and start using your time to move forward. For example, you can't control your workload, but you can control how you organize your day. You can't control your boss's mood, but you can control how you respond. You can't control what others think of you, but you can control the quality of your work. This mindset shift is like flipping a switch. Suddenly, the noise fades and the path ahead becomes clearer. Practical steps to improve focus and productivity. If you want to improve your ability to focus and get more done, here are proven strategies that align with the idea of focusing on what you can control. 1. Start your day with intentional planning each morning. Take 5 minutes to ask, what are my top 1-3 priorities today? What small steps can I take right now? Write them down. Clarity leads to action. 2. Use time blocks and eliminate multitasking. Dedicate focused time blocks to specific tasks, like 25 or 50 minutes of uninterrupted work. The Pomodoro technique is great for this. During that time, shut off notifications, silence your phone, and give the task your full attention. Multitasking may feel productive, but it actually slows you down and reduces performance. 3. Set clear boundaries. Your time is one of the few things you truly control. Protect it. Say no to unnecessary meetings. Avoid checking your phone first thing in the morning, and schedule downtime to recharge. Your brain works best when it knows what to expect and isn't constantly overstimulated. 4. Track progress, not perfection. Productivity isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's about showing up consistently and making progress. Even small steps count. Use tools like to-do lists, habit trackers, or digital planners to stay accountable. Celebrate what you did accomplish instead of beating yourself up over what's left. 5. Reframe setbacks. When things don't go as planned, ask, what did I learn? What will I do differently next time? This puts the focus back on your response, which you control, instead of the outcome, which you may not. 6. Train your focus like a muscle. Focus strengthens with practice. Try mindfulness or meditation for just 5-10 minutes daily. These simple habits help your brain develop the ability to stay present and calm amid distractions. Even pausing to take a few deep breaths between tasks can reset your mental energy and improve clarity. The confidence that comes from control when you regularly act on the things you control, yourself, confidence grows. You begin to trust yourself more. You no longer feel overwhelmed by the chaos of the outside world because you've learned to center your energy on your own actions and mindset. This internal sense of control becomes a foundation for resilience. No matter what's happening around you, you know how to focus, adapt, and move forward. Final thought: improving your focus and productivity isn't about becoming a robot or being busy all the time. It's about using your energy wisely. It's about recognizing that your attention is a precious resource and choosing to spend it on things that matter, things you can influence. When you stop trying to do everything and instead do what matters most, you become unstoppable. You make progress not by magic, but by mastering your focus, one choice at a time. In today's unpredictable world, staying emotionally grounded can feel like a constant challenge. Whether it's external chaos, personal setbacks, or internal self-doubt, we all face moments that test our mental and emotional stability. The key to navigating these challenges lies in developing inner peace and emotional strength, two qualities that don't just help you survive life's storms, but help you grow stronger through them. Inner peace doesn't mean life is perfect or problem-free. It means you've developed the ability to remain calm, centered, and in control of your emotions, even when everything around you is uncertain. Emotional strength, on the other hand, is your capacity to bounce back from adversity, regulate your feelings, and respond with wisdom rather than react with panic. Together, these qualities create a deep, unshakable resilience. And the best part, they are built, not born, with consistent effort and intentional focus. Why inner peace is so powerful: inner peace is more than just a calm feeling. It's a superpower in disguise. When you cultivate peace within yourself, you make better decisions under pressure. Communicate with more clarity and compassion. Maintain your focus despite distractions or setbacks. Protect your mental and emotional energy from being hijacked by every minor frustration. Rather than being tossed around by your circumstances, you become the anchor. You respond thoughtfully instead of reacting emotionally. You lead from stability, not from stress. The role of control in emotional strength: much of our emotional suffering comes from trying to control things we can't. Other people's opinions, the past, the future outcomes. This constant striving for control creates anxiety, anger, and burnout. But when you shift your focus to what is within your control, your thoughts, your responses, your self-care, your values, you begin to reclaim your emotional stability. This internal shift is what builds true strength. You're no longer at the mercy of every external event. You become steady, grounded, and reliable, both to yourself and others. Emotional strength is not suppression. Many people misunderstand emotional strength as the ability to suppress or ignore emotions, but that's not strength, that's denial. True emotional strength is about acknowledging how you feel, processing emotions in healthy ways, expressing them appropriately, choosing your response with intention. It's the difference between reacting out of anger versus pausing to breathe, think, and speak with clarity. It's the ability to sit with sadness or fear without being overwhelmed by it. Strong people don't feel less. They manage their emotions better. How to build inner peace and emotional strength. Here are some practical and powerful ways to build both qualities in your daily life. 1. Practice mindfulness and stillness. Take a few minutes each day to disconnect from noise, phone, news, social media, and just breathe. Pay attention to your breath, surroundings, and thoughts without judgment. This trains your brain to stay present and reduces reactivity. Mindfulness helps you pause before reacting, which is the first step toward emotional mastery. 2. Respond. Don't react. The space between stimulus and response is your greatest power. When you feel triggered, overwhelmed, or upset, pause, count to 5. Ask yourself, is this reaction helpful? How do I want to respond? This simple pause gives you control over your emotions rather than letting them control you. 3. Set healthy boundaries. Protecting your inner peace means saying no to things that drain you or violate your values. This includes toxic relationships, negative media, and overcommitment. Boundaries are not walls, they are doors. They decide what you let in and what you keep out. 4. Journal and reflect. Writing down your thoughts and emotions helps you process them more effectively. When you externalize your worries or anger, you reduce their intensity. Journaling also helps you recognize patterns and triggers, which increases self-awareness. Ask yourself daily, what made me feel calm today? What tested my emotions? How did I respond? And how can I improve? 5. Strengthen your emotional vocabulary. One reason people struggle with emotions is they don't have the words for them. Expand your emotional vocabulary beyond happy, sad, or mad. Learn to name what you're feeling accurately: frustrated, disappointed, anxious, hopeful, proud. When you can name it, you can manage it. 6. Practice self-compassion. Inner peace grows when you treat yourself with kindness. You will make mistakes. You will feel off sometimes. That doesn't mean you're weak, it means you're human. Talk to yourself the way you would talk to a good friend. Encourage yourself. Forgive yourself. Be patient with your growth. The role of routine and ritual. Emotional strength doesn't come from willpower alone. It comes from structure. Creating daily rituals like morning routines, gratitude practices, evening wind downs gives your mind and emotions a rhythm. It tells your nervous system you are safe, you are in control. Whether it's a walk in nature, journaling at night, prayer, or just 10 minutes of silence, routine builds a stable emotional foundation. What happens when you build this strength? When you develop emotional strength and inner peace, you don't get thrown off by every problem. You stop taking things personally. You feel grounded in your identity and values. You gain confidence in your ability to handle anything life throws at you. You become a source of calm for others and an unshakable presence in your own life. Final thought: inner peace and emotional strength are not destinations. They are disciplines. You build them through small daily choices, steady practice, and a commitment to focus on what's within your control. You may not be able to change the world, but you can change how you show up in it. And when you do, you'll discover a deep strength that no chaos, no criticism, and no crisis can take away. Many people want to transform their lives. They dream of better health, financial freedom, meaningful relationships, or personal success. But real, lasting change doesn't happen overnight. It's not the result of one big moment. It's the result of many small, consistent steps. When you focus on what you can control day by day, you begin to create long-term positive change that reshapes your future from the inside out. Whether you're looking to break bad habits, develop new skills, or improve your mindset, the key to sustainable transformation lies in consistency, clarity, and personal responsibility, not in waiting for perfect conditions. Why quick fixes don't last? We live in a culture obsessed with shortcuts, crash diets, overnight success, viral fame, and hacks for everything. But shortcuts often lead to frustration because they don't address the deeper habits, patterns, and mindsets that shape our behavior over time. True change, the kind that sticks, comes from within. It comes from shifting your focus to the things you can control: your daily habits, your self-talk, your attitude, and your effort. This type of change is quieter, slower, but far more powerful. The compound effect of small decisions. The most effective way to change your life isn't by doing something huge once. It's by doing something small, consistently, over time. This is called the compound effect. Just like compound interest grows your money gradually, consistent positive choices, like reading 10 pages a day, saving a small amount of money weekly, or walking for 30 minutes daily, create momentum. The results may not show right away, but over months or years, the transformation is massive. For example, writing 2 100 words a day equals a full book in a year. Exercising 30 minutes daily equals better health, energy, and confidence. Investing $5 a day equals thousands saved over time. The key is not intensity, it's consistency. How focusing on what you can control fuels change when people feel stuck. It's often because they're focusing on things outside their control. My family doesn't support me. The market is bad. People like me don't get opportunities. But when you shift that energy inward, everything changes. You start asking, what can I do with what I have right now? What habit can I build today? What's one small win I can create this week? That shift puts you back in the driver's seat of your life. You stop waiting and start building. You stop complaining and start creating. Pillars of long-term positive change. Here are 5 key pillars that help you create lasting transformation through what's in your control. 1. Clear vision. You can't build a better future if you don't know what it looks like. Define your goals clearly. Ask yourself, what do I want to achieve in 6 months, in 1 year? What does success look like for me? Physically, emotionally, financially. Be specific. I want to get healthy becomes I want to walk 5 days a week and cook at home 4 nights. Clarity creates focus. Focus creates results. 2. Daily habits. Your habits are the building blocks of your future. Choose 2-3 habits that support your goals and commit to them consistently. Example, morning reading builds knowledge, daily gratitude builds mind. Set weekly budgeting builds financial control. You control your routines, and your routines shape your reality. 3. Accountability and tracking. Track your progress. Use a journal, habit tracker, or app to stay aware of your wins and gaps. This gives you feedback and helps you stay motivated, even on hard days. If possible, add accountability, a friend, mentor, or coach who checks in on your progress and encourages you to stay committed. 4. Mindset shifts. You can't create long-term change with a short-term mindset. Learn to embrace progress over perfection, discipline over motivation, learning over fear of failure. Failures are not the end, they are feedback. Each one teaches you how to adjust and grow. 5. Patience and persistence. This is the most underrated ingredient of all. Real change takes time. There will be setbacks. You'll feel tired, discouraged, or distracted. That's normal. But if you keep showing up, even imperfectly, the results will come. Stay focused on the process, not just the outcome. Emotional and mental benefits of long-term growth. As you start creating positive change through daily action, something powerful happens. You become more confident because you trust yourself to follow through. You feel more in control because your decisions, not external forces, are shaping your life. You experience more peace because you're not waiting for permission or perfection to begin. This creates a feedback loop of empowerment. The more you grow, the more capable you feel. The more capable you feel, the more you grow. Real-world examples. A person struggling with anxiety begins journaling and meditating daily. After 6 months, they notice they feel calmer, less reactive, and more grounded, even though external stressors haven't changed. Someone buried in debt decides to track their spending weekly and save 10% of every paycheck. In a year, they've paid off a credit card and built an emergency fund without any increase in income. An aspiring writer commits to writing 300 words a day. In 10 months, they have a finished draft of their first novel. Each of these transformations began with one small, controllable action, repeated consistently. Final thought, you don't need a perfect plan, ideal circumstances, or a dramatic breakthrough to change your life. You just need a clear direction, daily effort, and the discipline to keep going, even when it's hard. Focus on what you can control, your habits, your choices, your mindset, and you'll begin building a life that reflects your true potential. Small steps taken daily create massive change over time.